Hello, beach friends. We are going to take a lovely morning walk here on Fort Myers Beach. We're going to see all sorts of fun things. We're definitely going to find a couple of shells. We're going to say hi to a couple of critters and just take in the beauty that is the beach and the Gulf of Mexico here in Southwest Florida. So if you're ready to do a little beach combing and exploring, let's go to the beach. Okay, today we're going to stay on land for the most part. I will be walking in the water a little bit. As you can see, the tide is going out. It's not particularly high right now, about 0.9 feet. It is a lovely day. It is early. There are a couple of people about. It is winter, so I do have to share the beach. Oh, look, a kayaker. And this kayaker probably checked the weather and knew it was going to be a good day. If you happen to miss my little kayaking adventure, I'm going to put a little link there. But for now, we're going to talk about the shells on Fort Myers Beach. So that is a prickly cockle. It was weird. It was white on the inside. Those typically are actually very colorful on the inside, but these yellow prickly cockles are typically yellow. And it looks at some point like the shell stopped growing and then started again. It's kind of neat. Kind of neat. Let's see what other kind of neat things we can find. All right, right here on the beach, it really is kind of ground up pieces of shell. It doesn't even look like there's really whole shells. The water's not looking like it's much different, and that's fine. No problem. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here. We're just going to keep it moving. I prefer the south end of Fort Myers, just what I happen to prefer, so I'm going to make my way there. Looks like I found a Florida fighting conch. I do really like those shells. Now that beach stuff will come off no problem. It's called Periostracum. And that is a giant Atlantic cockle. Relatively plentiful. They're not always out, but they're definitely more on the common side. Now this weird thing, I thought it was a Texas Talon or maybe a Tampa Talon. Unfortunately, each of those shells only come maybe half an inch or an inch. That one's much bigger. It's a mystery. And that is a normal colored prickly cockle. It typically has kind of that purplish, pinkish color on the inside. So the prickly cockles are representing, as are a couple of our shorebirds. That one in the front there, that was a little willet. These are ibises. Oh, that little ibis didn't have his second cup of coffee yet. So those you'll usually actually kind of see on golf courses and whatnot. And here I'm checking out the water. It's a little cloudy. I'm not seeing too much action. So I'll just keep moving. The beach continually changes, and I like to just cover as much beach as possible. So already it's changed a little bit. So it's changed from those ground up shell pieces into actual pieces of shell. And you have your regular cast of characters, the arcs, the crossbarred Venus, your slipper, maybe some carditas in there too. So we'll just keep walking, see what the beach reveals for us. All right, another Florida fighting conch. There's so many things to admire about these shells. This one I'm admiring how clean it is. It has almost none of that periostracum. Keeper. So this is kind of a fun place on the beach. This is an old fishing pier. The only thing that's left here are those posts, so it's kind of iconic. You don't really have any other kind of like landmarks, so this is one of the areas that is recognizable. But before we get there, let me go ahead and pick up this colorful moon snail. Awesome. So those are also known as gaudy nauticas. Very cool moon snail. And it could have been a broad-ribbed cardita or a turkey wing. And it looks like once we got a little bit closer, this is indeed a turkey wing, and a really pretty one at that. That left side really does kind of look like a wing. Kind of cool. Real pretty turkey wing. So here's those pier, and you will see those birds. The birds with their arms outstretched, those are most likely cormorants, and they do not have natural oils because they dive, they do a lot of swimming, so they dry off their feathers by standing and airing themselves out. Kind of fun. There's another little willet. And I can appreciate all the birds and everything else, but we're really kind of on the hunt for some shells. And this shell, that is a slipper snail. It's called a spotted slipper snail, aptly named. It is a little green, nothing a little bleach wouldn't clear up. And this is a rose petal tellin. Beautiful little pink shell. Looks like we also have a little crowned conch. So, whoop, a little juvenile crowned conch. And a broad-ribbed cardita that was kind of buried in the sand there. So a nice variety. I mean, there'll be nothing that's really kind of knocking my socks off yet, but there at least we're finding a little bit of something. Oh, and there's a calico clam on the bottom, a really nice dark one, and then on top again is that rose petal tellin. I do seem to find those rose petal tellins, I would say almost every time I come to Fort Myers Beach. Let's do a quick check-in. 68, so it is just perfect out. There's the tide still kind of going out. Beautiful morning to be out on the beach. Here is a sunray Venus clam. They are relatively common, although I still like and appreciate them, so I do collect those. And another pink, I can't resist. Can't resist a little pink rose petal tellin. Oh, and here's a purple tegulus. Not all that purple, but that is what the name of that shell is. A purple tegulus and a rose petal tellin. And this is one of the most common shells. So this is a cross-barred Venus, and they will have really strong, not always, really strong yellow and or purple inside colors. So those, I mean, like every time you come to the beach, you're going to find one. And this is just a piece of a shark eye. So that's a piece of just a giant moon snail. Never find them that big down here. Intact anyway. The pieces you can find. Oh, there's a critter. So that is a juvenile Florida fighting, a gorgeous juvenile Florida fighting conch. Oh man, what a pretty shell. But that is not something we can keep. It is already taken. Somebody is inhabiting that shell. So we're going to return it to the beach and keep looking for maybe something we can hold on to. So at least I'm seeing a little something here. Oh, an olive. So that is a lettered olive. I really want an albino one. So I'm on the hunt for an albino one every time I'm out. So let's see what other kind of things. I also do like being in the water. If it's possible, and I think there's going to be goodies in the water, that's kind of where I prefer to shell. Although a lot of times you're going to find a lot of live things. Let's see what we got here. Look at that purple color. Oh man, I'm so happy it's empty. So I'm definitely holding on to that Florida fighting conch. And here we have a false shark eye. So that is a moon snail. We have a little hermit crab all tucked in there. See, it's not. It's going to kind of tease us. Yeah. It's not going to come out and do a whole show. So I'd like to kind of just take a peek. I don't like to harass the wildlife. If it's going to be fun for us, cool. If not, we'll just let it go about its day. Ooh, a hinged sunray Venus clam. Always nice to find the hinged specimens. Relatively clean, a little bit of beach stuff, no problem. Another sunray Venus clam. Oh man, look at that shell. It's so pretty. I'm kind of bummed I can't keep it. We have yet another crab. Somebody has decided to keep that shell, and I want, in my memory, I don't think I've ever seen a hermit crab in a Florida fighting conch. They typically go for the more light shells. That is a calico scallop. Real pretty, little bit of green, that's not a problem. The green stuff doesn't scare me. And I'm not alone. It's winter, so I'm sharing the beach because it's so nice. It's pretty nice in Florida in the winter, gonna say. So that is the spiny jewel box. That's another one of those cross-barred Venus clams. That one happens to have that purple color on the inside. That's another slipper. There's some arcs. And we'll look at this. That's a prickly cockle. It's kind of bleached out a little bit. That is an arc. I think that's a cut-ribbed arc. What else we got? That's another crossbarred Venus. So there are, definitely shells here. There's a pear whelk. Kind of neat, although I'm not going to keep it. Oh, I do spy something else. That's a little top snail. Oh, it's got a little hole in it, but that's okay. Like seeing a variety of the different goodies we can find. These are very, very common. Another one, but I still really like them. I don't know. I got a couple of real common shells that I just happen to like anyway. The Florida Fighting Conch and these guys, the broad-ribbed Carditas. I don't know. I don't know why I like them. I just like their shape. They usually have nice strong colors to them. Kind of neat. There's another one. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to leave that. We are not even going to bother. Oh, there's another rose petal Talon. Any other goodies? So there's some stuff. There is a channeled duck clam. A little discolored, a little bit of a hole, but still representing. Definitely stuff here. Okay, here's another one of those slipper snails. And I don't collect these. These literally are almost always on the beach somewhere, so I don't even bother really collecting them. But just in case you happen to see them, I mean, by all means, grab yourself a couple of those slipper snails. Oh, another turkey wing. Oh, cool fringe on the side. Oh, that's another shell. It's in great shape. So it's also known as a zigzag arc because it is one of the arc shells. Here's another calico scallop. Lovely, lovely color. Oh, please be empty. No, darn. I really like that vertical line and the zigzags on the top. And oh well, critter, you're not quite done with your shell yet, so let's put you in the water. And here's a little jingle. They come in a variety of colors. And it has that little baby's foot mark on the inside. Well, another pink shell. I have to pick that up too. Rose petal Talon. And purple, here we have, that is a crossbarred Venus that has just lost all of the top layer of its shell, so the purple is exposed. Oh, purple. Oh, there you go. So that's another one of those purple tegulus shells. Very cool. Looks like a little bit of Easter. A little early, but cool colors. And speaking of cool colors, these coquinas are just the best. They have the coolest colors. It's a bummer, though. That's about as big as they get. That's it. They're tiny little colorful shells. And that is a lightning whelk. I'm surprised it's taken this long to find one. Typically, they're also relatively common. Those are great shells to collect. And another rose petal Talon. I'm telling you, there's lots of them here at Fort Myers Beach for sure. Oh, it's a lovely morning. And the beach continues to change. So with the different storms that come through and the different weather patterns that come through. So you'll see that bush that used to be up on the beach at some point. It was actually a tree. It's toppled over and in the water at this point. So the beach is continually changing. Oh, another color. That is a Lucine. There's a couple different Lucines. This one happens to be a buttercup Lucine. Aptly named from the buttery color it has on the inside. You can kind of see a little bit even from the top side, but that's a buttercup Lucine. Oh man. All right, so that's a pear whelk, or most of a pear whelk. Next to this lovely Florida Fighting Conch. Got a little bit of that Periostracum on there. Not too bad. Well, here's purple. So that is a horse mussel. They have a beautiful iridescent color on the inside. Here's another. Fun to see the colors here. Very cool. Horse mussel. And there's another white shell. It's actually different from that first one. And again, I'm kind of thinking maybe that's a Tampa Talon, maybe? Look! A limpet! I never find limpets, although lately I've found one or two. They are really rare in my experience, so that is terrific. I know it's kind of broken, but very cool to find that little broken keyhole limpet. And a bubble. Now, I'm going to show you something so super cool. Stick with me to the end. We are going to see a really cool thing about bubbles. And that's a sandy shark eye. Can't quite tell if it is a false or a true shark eye. Pretty. That is another juvenile. Okay, we know it's nobody's home because it's packed full of sand. So that is a real nice juvenile Florida fighting conch. Very easy to find. And that is a moon snail, a shark eye, and that is a true shark eye. Doesn't have that little depressed part of the underside of the shell. Oh, I'm depressed that that wasn't whole. So that's a true tulip. They get much bigger than the banded tulips. But, oh, my mood just changed. A hinged spiny jewel box. Oh, that's awesome. I found them spinier, but still a really, really cool find. And now I'm like, okay, awesome. I just found a limpet, found this hinged spiny jewel box. What else is hiding here? All right, there is another really lovely Florida fighting conch. Along with that one, we're going to just leave them there for a second. Now that is cut with a little bit of beach stuff and the periostracum, so that kind of greenish film. Those are relatively clean. I'm going to hold on to those two fighting conchs. Let's just see if there's any other goodies here. I'm scanning, looking for shapes, colors, seeing what else might pop out at me. Alright, I guess there was nothing in the pile, but I found this lovely, that is another juvenile fighting conch. Oh, and a crown conch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. What do we got? Oh, a little auger. Oh, a pretty pointy little shell. So, doing the old scanning. Anything else? All right, decided I better pop in the water. Well, good thing I did. I found this lovely lettered olive, complete with its point. Its little M's, its little letters. Another bird hanging out fishing. That is a snowy egret. Oh, they're beautiful. And another juvenile Florida fighting conch with really nice, the little knobs or spikes on top. Very, very cool. So just walked through there. Didn't find much of anything. Just appreciating the view. Oh, what a great day. It's a great day to be alive. So I'm heading south. Haven't quite made it to the end yet. We'll get there eventually. Here is another juvenile fighting conch. Oh, very nice. Really nice patterns on that. Finally, a keeper lightning whelk. Wow, that took a really long time. Usually I find at least a couple of those. Here's another little one. Well, that one's a little worse for wear. We're probably not going to hold on to that little one, but I'm going to hold on to that little bit bigger lightning whelk and another bubble to add to the cool little experiment we're going to do. Awesome. So that's the view. Today would have been a great day to go kayaking, right? But that's okay. It's a good day to go for a walk as well. So we'll just keep heading on south down to the end. See what we find along the way. Here's another spiny jewel box. And you know, I don't know that I considered that those spines are not solid, that they look like they might actually be a little bit hollow. So that is a spiny jewel box. And another crown conch. Oh, okay, it is a crown conch. I am not going to hold on to that. Oh, man, it's got some nice color on there. So there is this part of the beach where I do tend to find these. I guess it's a little bit clay, a little bit muddy. So these crown conchs kind of like this area. Unfortunately, there are no shells in good shape today. But I'll just peek at what I find, consider like, no, too pitted, too washed out. That's not going to clean up. So I'll leave that for a hermit crab. Another one of the things that I really like about the walk down to the south end of Fort Myers Beach is there's no entrances. So the only way you're really going to get down here is if you happen to actually live in one of the homes down here or you walk. Kind of cuts down on the traffic. And here we have two moon snails. That one in front is a shark eye, and the one in the back is one of those colorful moon snails. And if you look at that underneath part, the one on the right, the colorful moon snail, it's always going to have kind of like that hole. Not that it's hard to identify the shell anyway, because of the different striping colorations it has on it. So that is a colorful moon snail. And then the shark eye usually has kind of a same color, and then that kind of gouged out spot there, that's what's telling me that that is a false shark eye. So thank you so much to the viewer who pointed that out to me. I really appreciate it. Now I know the difference between a false shark eye and a true shark eye. So across the way there, that is Lover's Key. So the walk I went about 2.39 miles, 73 degrees out. And it was a little slow in the shelling department, so I decided we'll go ahead, turn around, walk back north up the beach. And I'm usually rewarded, so I'm going to go for a little walk, and you guys can have some beach time. All right, looks like I found a different shark eye, and that one is also a false shark eye because of that depressed area there. Another moon snail. Oh, and here we have, it's rather beach worn. It's a juvenile, and when it's worn down by the beach, it really makes it a little bit hard to identify, but this for sure is a lace murex. It's a little bit beach worn. Another lightning whelk. And what else? Another gaudy nautica, so another one of those colorful moon snails. A little green, no problem. Very cool. And then the lightning whelk, very easy to tell these. It opens on the left. So it's called a sinistral shell. It's a little bit weird in the shell world that it opens on the left side, because typically they open on the right, like this conch here. And it also has that coating on it, that periostracum. So that's what that kind of green stuff is. And that doesn't bother me. It cleans off really, really easy with 100% bleach. It's like we got a couple more of those fighting conchs. Oh, that little one was broken. All right, let's check out these. And since I'm on the way back, I don't mind if my shell bag is a little bit heavy. Oh, that's pretty. There's just so many things. The color, the patterns. Oh, that one is gorgeous. Oh, I think so far that's my favorite one of today. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, that one's kind of nice too. Let's see, is this one going to be my favorite? No, I still think I like that other one. Oh, or that one I found earlier with the purple on the inside. Oh, they're all so cool. They're dark, they're light, they're shiny. Oh, they're clean, they're orange. Just so many cool things to appreciate about the Florida fighting conch. A dusky cone. Oh, these are so cool. Now, this is one of the smallest of the local species of cone snails that we have down here. That's called a dusky cone. Harder to find because they're on the wee side. They're little. Well, hello, apple murex. That just kind of washed up at my feet. Now, I'd already shelled in this water before. Didn't see it. Where did it come from? Where did that shell come from? I don't care. I'm just glad I found it. Oh, and that is gorgeous. It even has a little bit of that pinkish hue to it still. Beautiful juvenile fighting conch. Very, very cool. All right, we have a pear whelk. It's intact. It's very beach worn. Really doesn't have any sharp edges at that point, but actually still has a little bit of color. Go figure. And a banded tulip. Well, okay. That's actually a great find for Fort Myers Beach. I don't find them all that often here. Awesome banded tulip. And a nutmeg. Now, typically they will have a little bit of a point to the top of their shell, but I'm not feeling all that picky. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that nutmeg. All right, let's see what this gorgeous fighting conch. Oh yeah, it's got some vertical lines, got a little bit of zigzaggy pattern. Yep, gonna have to hold on to that too. Oh, beautiful day. Just beautiful. So yeah, in between my shelling, I do pick my head up and look what's going on. Now that is a live fighting conch. That's why it's kind of leaping around down there. So it got itself upside down and it gets out, flips itself right side over. It's too, I would have liked to have recorded it underwater, but it was a little, yeah, between the surf and the muddy water, I wasn't going to get a good shot. So just film it above and keep it moving. So we're back by the pier at this point. It has been a lovely morning. Now it's 75 degrees and kind of warm. So if you're planning on coming here, dress in layers because it's really, really possible it's going to be 50 in the morning and then, 78 in the afternoon. It's just the way it is down here. And we have a little Florida horse conch. So that's a juvenile Florida horse conch. And that's how we're going to wrap up our day. Now, I told you I was going to show you something really, really cool with bubbles. Someone had left me a comment, so I just recently learned about this. Those are all bubbles, and guess what? They glow under UV light. Check that out. I thought that was the coolest thing. I do happen to have a UV light. I'm one of those nerds. And the first thing I did when I read that comment was ran into my closet, closed the door, and sure enough, those bubbles glowed. I thought that was really, really cool. So whoever, I tried to find the comment. I can't find it now. Sorry about that. But whoever left me that comment, thank you. I thought it was really neat. So I did go a little bananas in the fighting conch area. But what are you going to do? Got a couple of those juveniles as well. I did keep some of those broad rib carditas, the Sunray Venus clams, a couple of those calico scallops, those two mystery white shells. I don't know what they are. Someone tell me if you know. A couple kitten paws, a whole bunch of those rose petal talons. We got a couple of turkey wings, some lettered olives, some spiny jewel boxes, a pear whelk, a bunch of lightning whelks, a banded tulip, and then my favorite, or maybe I should say favorites, because it's the apple murex, the spiny jewel box, the limpet, that jasper cone, really kind of cool. So it was a fun day. Next week, we are going post-storm shelling, and I'm talking post-tornado shelling, so it's going to be really fun. Big shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me. Everybody, thank you so much for coming along with me. Thank you for your comments and your support. Next week, post-storm shelling, it's going to be awesome. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.